Hey guys, welcome to the second part. In the previous part, we completed our GUI and now let's work on the functionality. So firstly, let's work on the functionality of this calculator. So what I want when I click this 7, I want this 7 to appear here. And when I click plus, it should be added just next to 7. And when I click 9, it should be added just next to plus. So we will be getting 7 plus 9 on this entry field. And when I click on this answer button, I should be getting 16 here after adding 9 plus 7, right? So let's see the logic. So here where I have given this calculator as a comment, here we will be defining few functions. So first function is def button click, and to this function I will pass one argument numbers, which will store the numbers that you will press. And outside of this function I will create one variable which will be a string variable. The variable name is operator, like this. So initially this operator has no string. So what this variable will do, when we will be clicking on 7, that 7 will be added inside this operator variable. Then when we will click plus symbol, that plus will be added to this as well. And then when we will click 9, that 9 will also be added. So this operator will hold values like this: 7 plus 9. So this 7 plus 9 will be inside this operator variable, right? So what I will do inside this function, I will simply update its value. So I'll write operator equals to operator plus numbers. Here you can see we are getting error. To modify any outside variable, we will have to make that variable global. So I'll use this global keyword and I'll write this operator variable name like this. So now I can modify this variable value inside this function here. I have to call this button click function from these buttons. So here inside this button 7, I'll pass command equals to lambda keyword, and here I'll be using this function button click, and here I'll pass this 7 in the form of a string. Let me move it to a new line so it's visible to you. So what will happen here, whenever you will click button 7, this function will be called, button click function will be called, and this 7 will be passed to this numbers variable. So inside this numbers variable we will have 7. Then initially this operator variable is having null, so null plus 7 will be 7, right? And that 7 will be inside this operator variable. And when the user will click this plus button, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to provide command to our plus button also. So I'll simply copy from here. It will be the same command, and to this plus button I'll paste here like this, and instead of 7 I'll send plus to this function. So inside this numbers variable, instead of 7 now there will be plus, right? Inside this operator we already have 7, right? So 7 plus, it will be 7 plus. So inside this operator variable we will have 7 and then plus operator like this. Similarly, when the user will click button 9, so inside this button 9, here also I'll provide that command, and instead of 7 I'll pass 9 here. So 9 will go inside this numbers variable. So now instead of plus we will have 9 inside this variable, right? And inside this operator we already have 7 plus, then in numbers we have 9, so 7 plus 9, it will be 7 plus 9, and that 7 plus 9 will be stored inside this operator variable. So finally inside this operator variable we have this 7 plus 9, right? And now I want to display this onto my entry field, calculator field dot insert method, and at the end I will insert this operator variable like this. Let's see. If I press 7, you can see we are getting 7, and when I press this plus operator, you can see we are getting 7 and then plus, right? So this is that previous 7 that was inserted, right? So what I want firstly, if there is anything written there, that should be deleted, and then the new insertion should be done, right? So what I will do, before inserting, here I'll write calculator field dot delete, and from starting till end I will delete everything, and then I will insert. Let's see. Now if I click 7 and then I click plus, you can see the previous 7 got deleted, and now we have this 7 and this plus operator which was inside operator variable, right? Then I can press this 9, right? So this is what I explained you. If I press any other key, it will not work because I have not provided command to these buttons. But it will be similar to all these buttons. We just have to provide the same command to all these buttons except for this answer button and this clear button. We will have different functionality for these two buttons. For all other buttons, we have to provide button click function, right? So let's do it. Then for button answer, we will have different function, and then for this clear also different function. Then to this button 0 also, we will pass the same command, button 0, and the last one, a division operator. I'll paste, and here I'll provide this forward slash. That's it. Now let's run. If I click 4, 4 is getting added to our entry field. Now if I click plus, plus is adding, then 6, the 6 is getting added, right? So everything is working fine here. All these buttons are getting added. Now what I want, when I click on this clear button, I want everything to be deleted from this entry field. So here to this clear button, I will provide a function, a command. So here command will be clear, and let's define this command. So just after this button click function, here I'll define another function, def clear, and here what I will do, I will simply write calculator field dot delete from 0 till end. So whenever you will click the clear button, everything from the calculator field will be deleted. Let's see. If I multiply 4 with 5 and I click on this clear button, you can see everything from here is deleted. But there is one issue. If I write 8, you can see the earlier value which was stored in that operator variable, and 8 is also concatenated with that value, right? So what I want, inside that clear function, I will make the operator variable, this operator variable, back to null, right? So here I'll write operator equals to null, and I have to make this operator variable global, so I'll write global operator. Otherwise this operator variable will be treated different variable, and this variable will be for this function only. But I want to change this variable, that is why I'm making that variable global, so that I can modify this variable inside this function. I hope you are able to understand this. Let's see. Now if I multiply these two and click on this clear button, now if I type 9, you can see the previous string is now null because the clear function code is executed, and now I can type the next thing, right? I hope you understood this. Now let's work on the functionality of this answer. So when I'll type something like this and click on this answer button, I should be getting the answer for this multiplication. So I'm going to define a function here, def answer. Firstly, I'll make the operator variable global here so that I can use the value of this variable inside this function. So if the user will type 7 plus 9, so that 7 plus 9 is inside this operator variable, and that 7 plus 9, since we made this variable global, now can be used inside this function. So here what I will do, I will use one function which is eval. This helps us to evaluate any expression. So you can give any mathematical expression to this function and it will provide you the result. So if I'll give 7 plus 5, it will return 12. And to this function, I'll pass this operator variable. And whatever this will return, I will convert that to str so that we can add that to our entry field. And whatever this eval function will return, I will store that in some variable result, right? Now I have to add this result to our calculator field. So here I'll write calculator field dot insert, and at the 0th position I'm going to insert this result variable. Let's see. If I want to subtract 4 minus 6 and I click on this answer button, nothing is happening because we have just defined the function but we have not called it. So I will be calling from that answer button, right? Here I will pass a command equals to answer without parenthesis. Let's see again. If I want to do 12 into 3, here you can see when I'm pressing that one button, it is showing minus, right? So I made a mistake here. If you see, to this button 1, instead of 1 I passed this minus symbol, right? So here if I do this calculation, 32 into 3, if I click on this answer button, you can see we are getting the answer, right? We are getting the answer, but this previous data is not getting deleted from here. So I will do the same thing here that I did to that button click function. Before inserting, I will delete if there is anything present on the calculator field. I'll write delete from 0 till end, right? Let's see. 12 into 3 equals to 36. Correct, we are getting the right answer. Now the issue is if I click this 9, you can see what we are getting here. We are getting 12 into 3, the previous data of the operator variable, right? So inside this function also we have to make the operator variable to null, right? After displaying the result, we have to make the operator variable back to null like this. So 4 divided by 2, answer. We are getting the answer here. Now I can do another calculation, right? It's fine. So our calculator is ready and it's working. I hope you understood the functionality of it. Now the next functionality is when I click on this roti check button, I checked it, right? So in that case, I want the state of this entry field to be normal, and whatever text is written here, 0 is written here. So this 0 should be deleted from here, right? And when I uncheck this roti check button, again I should be getting this same thing, disabled entry field and 0 text inside it. And I have to do this for all these check buttons. Let's see what we will do. So firstly, let's do it for roti check button. So coming to roti check button, here we have this roti check button. Here I'm going to provide a command. So I'm going to a new line, command equals to roti. So this is a command roti, okay? And now I need to define this command, okay? So I will be defining all my functions at the top here. So let me just give a comment, functions, right? And the first function is def roti. Inside this function, I will check if the user has checked the check button or not. So here I'll apply a condition and I will use that variable that we created, var1.get. I told you this variable will help us to get which value the user has selected. It means when the user will tick the check button, in that case the value of that check button will be 1, and if it will be unchecked, then the value will be 0. So when the value is 1, it means the user has checked that check button. In that case, firstly I will make the state of text roti to normal. So here I'll use config method, and to this config method I have to pass state equals to normal. This config method helps us to update something. So here I'm going to update the state. Let's see. If I tick this roti check button, you can see the state is now normal. Okay. Next thing is, when I tick this check button, I want this text to be deleted from here. So just after this, I'll write text roti dot delete method, and from 0 till end I will delete everything like this. Let's see. If I tick this, you can see now 0 is deleted. Next thing is, when I tick this, I want the cursor to automatically blink at this position. For that, I will use the object variable text roti dot focus method. Let's see. Now if I tick this, you can see the cursor is automatically blinking here. I hope you understood. Now what I want, when I untick it, I want everything to be reset here. So I will simply go to the else part, else, and in the else part, I will make the state of the text roti back to disabled. So state equals to disabled, and also I will set 0 there. I am going to use eroti variable, which we use to insert anything to our text roti. So I'll use set method, and here I'll set 0. Let's see. If I check this, if I uncheck this, yeah, it's working fine. In the same way, we will do it for dal check button. So let me provide a command to that dal check button. So here I'm going to provide a command equals to dal, and let's define this. Just after that function, I'll be defining this def dal, and here also we will do the same thing. If var2, this time the variable is 2, right? var2 dot get equals to 1. If it is 1, that means you have checked the check button. In that case, I'll write text dal dot config method, and firstly I'll make the state to normal, then I'll delete everything from it, then I'll set the focus so that the cursor will be automatically blinking there. And if it is unchecked, we will simply go to the else part. Sorry, here it has to be dal instead of roti, so this one will be text dal, right? And in the else part, I'll use text dal object variable dot config method, and here the state will be back to disabled, and then I will insert with the help of this variable 0 inside that entry field. Let's see. Yeah, it's fine. In the same way, we have to create for rest of the entry fields. It will be the same logic, same code, only the variable names will change. So I'm going to do it quickly. I'm going to copy the same function from here, and after dal we have fish. So here the function I'll change to fish, right? And the variable there is 3. Make sure you write the correct variable that you have defined inside that check button. And here instead of text dal, I'm going to use text fish, right? And instead of e-dal, this one will be e-fish. Everything else will be same. Now let me call this function from the fish check button. So go to fish check button. After dal we had fish check button, and here you see we have variable 3. So make sure you use the correct variables, right? And here I'll pass command equals to fish without parenthesis. Let's see. Now let me do it quickly for all other check buttons. So after fish check button, I have added functionality for all other check buttons. So here you can see it is the same functionality, only the variable names and object variable names of entry fields is changed. Everything else is same, right? So make sure you do everything properly and do not make mistakes, right? And after defining all these functions, what next you have to do is to pass command to the entry fields, right? So make sure you pass the commands to the entry field, otherwise these functions will not be called. So you have to go to the entry field, and there you just have to write the function name that you define, just like I did command equals to lassi, command equals to coffee, and so on, right? Only this is the change. That's it. Let's run. If you check any check button and if you uncheck any check button, right? So all these check buttons are working properly. So this functionality is completed. So that's it for this video. In the next video we will work on the functionality of these buttons. Thank you for watching.